Tim Pool loses his mind and actually starts screaming about how much the woke left media is lying about Donald Trump's interview on Joe Rogan's podcast. So it's a good one. By the way, he starts yelling towards the end, so you got to watch the whole video. And thanks so much for watching Bring the Asteroid. Make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the channel. We post twice every single day, and subscribe to my personal channel, Isabella Moody. It's linked in the description. I also post there twice a day too, and we'll get into it.
Conversation, no notes, jumping from topics. Incredible. You take a look at what's going on with Kamala Harris, and here are the rumors. The rumors that I've seen reported, and I say rumors because there's different reporting going on. She said she had a scheduling conflict, and other reports suggest that she had stipulations about what Joe could talk about, and Joe refused, which you know he did. Now, my friends, I think the most important thing for me to say is clearly Joe Rogan is voting for Donald Trump. He talks about RFK Jr., and there's this really great moment where Donald Trump is saying, he's like, you know, Elon gave me this great endorsement. You should do it, Joe. And Joe just starts laughing. Yeah. Take a look at this. So I want to show you some of the highlights and break down for you where we're at. Some people are saying this is it. This conversation sealed the deal for so many people. I mean, they spent a portion talking about the fascism propaganda, the Hitler propaganda. It's incredible. Joe's like, they just call you Hitler. I mean, it's insane. There was a panel done. I think it was Mark Halperin. I could be wrong. But you have all these undecided voters. Yes, they exist. Very few of them. And this guy's like, look, I think the reason I'm being pushed towards Trump is because the Democrats just keep saying he's Hitler. It's like they go to Hitler right away. And I'm like, this is absurd. And the journalist who's holding the panel, again, I think it's Halperin, says, do you think that this rhetoric is helpful for the country? And everyone on the panel just shakes their head no. Yet people don't care. You can't just say Trump is Hitler over and over and over again. It's not real. It's not true. But I'll show you the takeaways, some of the big takeaways, and I want to play for you this amazing clip. Donald Trump actually said, Joe Rogan asks him, do you really want to get rid of the income tax in exchange for tariffs? And Trump's like, yeah, why not? Look at, this is incredible. Trump is like, you go back to the 1880s when we were extremely wealthy and it was based off tariffs. Tariffs were funding the government. That's how we were doing it. And we were one of the top nations in the world. And you look at how we're operating now. It's incredible. He's basically talking about how if the people of this country have more to spend, then growth and development skyrocket. But when the government bogs them down with mass spending for government interests, it inhibits economic activity. Funding everything through tariffs because people want the American people as customers results in better funding from the government, but internally you can grow rapidly. There's a lot to break down here, and I'll play some of these clips from Donald Trump. Before we get started, my friends, head over to timcast.com, click join us, become a member. We've got, Trump is like, I don't know, this is so incredible. Trump is like, I just get more publicity than so many people. And then Joe goes, well, you said a lot of wild-ish. You did. And then Trump laughs. You know, I think it was, it might have been Jack Posobiec. I can't remember who commented this, so sorry if I'm not giving you the proper credit. But they said on X, yeah, no way. Kamala Harris has a lot of crazy stuff, too, and she doesn't get the publicity. But I think it's fair to say when Trump comes out and says, we're going to get rid of the income tax, you know, tariffs are better, then it's something that's going to generate publicity. The New York Times, look at this. Trump flirts with the ultimate tax cut, no income taxes at all. I mean, yeah, that's pretty up there. When Kamala Harris says something like, you know, the thing that we need to talk about is something that needs to be talked about by everyone. And I'm going to focus on these things that we're supposed to be talking about because we can't not talk about them. And you're like, yeah, that's a wild thing to say because you said nothing, but there's nothing there to write on. What am I going to write? Kamala Harris says she wants to do a thing at some point, that a thing that needs to be done. Not interested. Well, explaining the process of choosing political nominations once he got in office, Trump discussed his initial appointment of John Bolton, who served as White House National Security Advisor. In 2019, Trump fired Bolton, who remains a staunch critic. Yeah. Trump described, it was so amazing. It was so amazing when Joe says, like, you hired bad people. And then Trump is like, you know, he gets asked if he made any mistakes. And Trump is like, yeah, some people I probably shouldn't have hired. And Joe is just like neocons. And then Trump goes, neocons, oh, they're bad people, very bad people. Every libertarian started screaming and throwing their hats in the air. Here's a couple more.
That's really funny. And that's good to hear from Trump, honestly.
Rogan tells Trump the rebels are Republicans now, and Elon Musk agrees. He says the rebels are Republicans now. Like, you want to be invisible. You want to be punk rock. You want to, like, buck the system. You're conservative now, Rogan said. That's how crazy. And then liberals are now pro-silencing criticism. You know, I want to pull up this tweet from Medi Hassan, which perfectly exemplifies why this podcast was needed and why people are sick of the corporate press machine. So here we go. This is a tweet that I saw retweeted by Crystal Ball. Medi Hassan says, Trump to Rogan. The liberals are now pro-silencing criticism. They are pro-censorship. Then he says, Trump at a rally in Michigan just hours later, 60 Minutes should be taken off the air and CBS should lose its license. You see, Medi Hassan knows what he's doing. He is manipulating you. Take a look at this first response. Jefferson's violin. I wonder who that is. He says they deceitfully cut an interview answer of Kamala from another question and pasted it to a different question. According to the FEC chair, yes, they could lose their license for this. Beneath it, Kevin Bass, PhD, MS, says he's anti-censorship, but CBS manipulated the interview to mislead the public to interfere with the election. CBS broadcasts on public airwaves, so is therefore breaking the law. But go ahead and lie to your followers as usual. I am sick of these people lying. Donald Trump and Joe Rogan are talking about big tech platforms that allowed government intelligence agencies to run back doors so that you could spy on people. There have been lawsuits definitively proving that the Biden administration was pressuring X, formerly Twitter, they're pressuring, I should say, Twitter at the time, to shut down people over their COVID views. This is overt censorship of individuals. Donald Trump is specifically referring to 60 Minutes fabricating content to promote a candidate. These are totally different things, but they lie. There you go. So right now, I'm not so sure I agree with that there Joe Rogan when he says the rebels are Republicans now, because I think we're winning. And we are shutting out the woke, corrupt institutions. To be fair, until Trump wins, it is true. And it's kind of funny, right? But I don't think it's necessarily fair to say Republicans. It is the right. It is the populist movement. It is MAGA. It is whatever. It is populism on the right. You got regular people who agree on most of these issues. And then you've got the uniparty Republicans and Democrats and their trash. Trump says he told North Korea's Kim Jong-un to just relax and go to the beach. Ha. Trump discusses Make America Healthy Again initiative. Says he told RFK Jr. just focus on health. This was really incredible because this is where you get Joe Rogan. Joe is a health guy. Dr. Joe. I always make the joke that, shout out to Joe. Look, when Joe was saying RFK Jr. is great, and then Trump criticized him, and all these Trump supporters were going after him, I was like, guys, why are you attacking a moderate? See, I was right. Look, I was. Joe Rogan is now here giving this platform to Donald Trump, and they had a real conversation, and you can tell that Joe is he's going to vote for Trump, right? I got to tell you, I've had when I got COVID, I called Joe. It's a wild story. It's a wild time, but Joe is a good dude. I owe him a lot. I do. He, we were talking the other day about the Joe Rogan universe, about the careers that he's launched. There are many comedians, and indeed, the depth at which this show exists it's thanks to Joe Rogan. And so I will be eternally grateful. And not only that, but when I got sick with COVID, it is Joe Rogan that helped out not just me, but my entire staff. And when I was having some kind of a hip problem, it was also Joe that gave me advice and connected me with some good people and helped me out.
That's pretty much it. It's absolutely true. I do think that the pendulum is swinging in our direction. It's about damn time. It's amazing. I hope Trump wins. Comment MAGA if you're still watching to help boost the video in the algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.